Guys, I'll say one last thing before we move on to some bracketology. Do we need to instill a draft selective service for officials in this country? Like, I know that I don't want to make this political, but if I was running for president, I think that'd be on my platform.
Do you mean to say that we should draft officials first if we were to draft people? Because
I need explanation here.
Because I'm actually on board with that. The officials are terrible.
If we are at a time of peace as a nation, I think selective service should maybe shift to officials, and we might be able to find some guys that can do a better job, because it's getting ridiculous. It's getting absolutely ridiculous. I mentioned it on the live show on Sunday morning, just the abomination we saw in Austin and the terrible precedent that was set by caving to a fan base that was throwing crap on the field. And you can't tell me that they didn't sneak a peek at the Jumbotron and be like, oh yeah, we screwed that one up when you should overturn this one on something that's not reviewable. Like, just man up, own the bad call, move on. Everyone will move on. It's just, and that's not even mentioning the A&M Mississippi State game. I'm obviously biased in that one, but that was just an atrociously officiated game. We see it week in and week out. There's just awful calls and stuff that should be so simple if you just do it by the book. And I'm saying that from my couch. Maybe I should get in there and referee a game. Maybe you'll see me on Saturdays in a couple weeks, guys. I'll be out there with a microphone.
Well, and it's obvious to point the finger at Texas, but I even brought it up last week. We got to look at the stuff at Miami. Another interesting call this week with that Louisville game, and something that could have affected the outcome late in the fourth quarter. Color me shocked. Again, I'm not going to call the conspiracy theories out completely, but this is why you need some kind of national officiating thing as opposed to conference officiating, because there's just too many things.
Absolutely.
There's too many things that can go wrong. There's too many things there's too many conflicts of interest. And, there's already stories about who the ref at Austin was and who he might've had connection to. We just don't need it, right? Go get yourself some national officials. Go get guys from the other side of the country that have no interest in your game whatsoever to call your games. It should be that easy.
And pay them money.
Please.
Pay them a livable wage. Because I don't know if most people know this, these people have day jobs. They are not full-time officials. They are teachers. They are lawyers. They are fill in the blank, police officers, firefighters. They have day jobs because they are not being paid enough. The fact that we have this much money in college football and we don't pay officials to be full-time, livable wages is just ridiculous. But go ahead, Mitch.
Well, I was going to say the last point on this is, I think transparency is a must. We've got live gambling happening now in college sports, and you are allowing the gatekeepers of all honesty and integrity to be in the hands of a weekend part-timer. That is ridiculous. $1 billion industry is in the hands of, like you said, a teacher. That just cannot be allowed. There has to be some sort of actual functioning rules and regulations here. Shocker the NCAA didn't think of that ahead of time. Shocker that it's the Wild West. I mean, it's the same story, different verse. But right now, I mean, our officiating works about as well as FTX's financial department. I mean, it's all being run on QuickBooks off of lone Mac in the back corner. It's a bad scene for college sports. And if it's not fixed relatively soon, you will have a scandal sooner rather than later. I mean, everyone is only human. These guys are not making money, livable wages off of this. There will be somebody that is on the take eventually. And when it gets exposed, it's going to destroy part of the foundation of college sports, whatever college sports is nowadays. But the door is wide open for that type of thing to happen, not just cracked, which is beyond concerning.
Absolutely. And you gotta have something that would be missed if it was taken away through corruption, right? And right now they just don't have that. Let's transition, guys. Enough bashing refs. Let's all sign up to be refs. You guys want to do that? We'll start at the high school level. We've
been thinking about this wrong. We're trying to get credentialed to games. We should just officiate.
This
makes sense.
Guys, been there, done that. I don't really want to go back.
Gracious him! How about that?